Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise on CW18 starts now.
Right now on Sunrise, the search for a missing 6-year-old from Lakeland. What we learned from an alert issued just a couple of hours ago.
Plus, 3 Florida police officers left to recover after confronting a man they say was running people down with his car. New details about the chase that ended in a shootout on a busy interstate.
Then several major topics are on the agenda for a special session in our state capitol. The steps lawmakers could take to try and crack down on immigration. But first at 7, it's been a cool start to the morning with temperatures today in the 40s and 50s. And while for our standard, yes, it is still cold, I got to say that is a big difference from the frigid temperatures we felt this weekend when it dipped to the 20s and 30s. And it felt like the teens for a hot second in Ocala. Thanks for staying with us today. I'm Christina Watkins.
And I'm Sana Kadange. We are finally thawing back out. We'll get you over to First Warning meteorologist Cam Tran. And Cam, today's weather is just the start of our work week warm up.
Yes, it is looking great today. First, we got to get through some patchy morning fog, though. You can see most of that fog is out towards the west along I-75. Visibility less than 3 miles right now in Wildwood, and we're seeing some patchy fog right now in Claremont. In the metro, fog is not an issue, but as you walk out the door this morning, you will still need that light jacket at least. Look at this, 55 right now in the city, beautiful 53 in Kissimmee this morning. Good morning, Leesburg. You're currently at 47 degrees. High temperatures today will climb into the low 70s, so that's actually quite on par for where our high temperatures should be for the winter months, which is the average high of 72. Taking a look at our satellite and radar, quite a few high-level clouds streaming ahead. Otherwise, a radar portion showing dry conditions, and that's what we're expecting through the rest of the day today. Go outside and enjoy this pleasant sunshine. We'll see a high of 74 in Orlando. Coming in about 15 minutes, I'll show you when we'll see temperatures climbing into the 80s. Let's first, though, take a look at the roadways this morning with Megan.
Cam, heading out the door, there is a crash I've been keeping my eye on along the beach line. Been going on for about the last hour. It's westbound, west of State Road 520. Heading towards Dallas Boulevard. Now fully pulled off onto the shoulder here. A couple cars were involved and just one of them is left here off on that shoulder. So some delays here traveling along the beach line westbound, but seeing some significant improvement from earlier. I-4 heavier traffic now moving here near those theme parks. This is a live look in the Champions Gate area. Stop and go here eastbound, traveling near State Road 429. No crashes though along I-4. We'll check in with some travel times coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Megan, thanks. At 7:02 this morning, lawmakers are getting ready to come together in Tallahassee for a special session, and there are several big topics up for discussion,
including a crackdown on illegal immigration. WESH 2's Paola Tristan Arruda joins us live. Paola, lawmakers filed several bills in the State House and Senate.
Sonica, nearly 24 bills were filed that deal with immigration, and the governor wants the state to lead the way when it comes to assisting the federal government with immigration enforcement. Other bills filed would eliminate out-of-state fee waivers for Dreamers who were brought to the United States as children. And the legislature is set to meet at 10:30 this morning in Tallahassee. Live in Orlando, Paola Tristan Arruda, WESH 2 News.
All right, Paola, thanks. Another topic lawmakers are set to discuss has to do with condo reform. It comes as many see their condo fees skyrocket. Regulations put in place after the 2021 deadly Surfside condo collapse put a major financial strain on condo associations, and renters say that price now falls back on them. WESH 2 will be at the special session in Tallahassee. Nancy Alvarez will have live reports from our state capitol on Florida's efforts to overhaul immigration.
We just received new details about this missing 6-year-old in Polk County. Lakeland police say Empress Moore ran away not once, but twice. Police say they first got a call from her mom at 8:30 last night. Police found her soon after at a friend's house, but then say she ran away again less than an hour later. Since then, officers and detectives have been searching throughout the night, going door to door in the area, using a bloodhound and helicopter to help in this search. She was last seen wearing a puffy blue jacket, blue leggings, and pink sparkly boots. If you know where she could be, call Lakeland Police or 911.
That is scary. 2 people, including a suspect, are now dead, and 3 others, including police officers, are hurt after a wild chase in Tampa.
Investigators say this all started at about 8:30 last night before ending in a shootout on I-275. A live look at that roadway this morning shows traffic moving but it was closed for hours overnight. Tampa police say the 47-year-old suspect hit 4 people with his car last night. At first, following an argument at a Dollar General, before he reportedly left that scene and started running down pedestrians.
We have multiple crime scenes, multiple victims, injured officers, and a member of our community was taken from us by the actions of this dangerous suspect.
One of the men hit did die, and 3 others were hurt, ranging from minor to critical injuries. 3 Tampa police officers also hurt. It's unclear how they were injured, but they're expected to be okay. Orlando City Council is set to discuss a proposed expansion for the Coalition for the Homeless Men's Service Center. The coalition is looking to develop a 6-story, 92,000 square foot facility to serve women and children, along with an administrative building and a security building. The proposal will be read for the first time at this afternoon's City Council meeting, which is set to begin at 2. In Commitment 2025, a special election will be held in Brevard County after State Representative Debbie Mayfield resigned from her House District 32 seat. That resignation is set to take effect in June. An order from Governor Ron DeSantis schedules the special primary election for April 1st and the special general election for June 10th. Mayfield is expected to run for Randy Fine's state Senate seat after he resigned to run for Mike Waltz's Congress seat. President Donald Trump tapped Waltz to serve as national security advisor. For voters in parts of Flagler, Lake, Marion, and Volusia counties, the special primary election to replace Mike Waltz is tomorrow. The special general election is set for April 1st, with early voting set to start March 22nd.
7:09 now. The U.S. Air Force says it will continue training with videos about the Tuskegee Airmen and women pilots in World War II. They temporarily removed them from training while they waited to see just how it would line up with President Donald Trump's ban on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Yesterday, the Air Force said it will show both videos.
There's a meeting today to share thoughts on how you think Volusia County should spend disaster recovery funds. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development approved the money after Hurricane Milton. Another meeting is set for Wednesday. That one will be at Daytona Beach Regional Library. Both meetings start at 5 p.m.
Let's give you a live look this morning from Port Canaveral. A cloudy start, but that sunshine is trying to peek through. This is one of the busiest cruise ports in the world, according to a new report. AAA just put out its first cruise forecast, and they expect 19 million people to set sail this year. That's up 4.5% from last year, and it's 30% more than what we saw at the peak before the pandemic in 2019. This is now the 3rd straight year of record cruises for passengers. Can you blame them?
Not at all. Next on WESH News Sunrise, growing concerns in California as rain starts to fall after weeks of devastating fires. The new threat that now has officials preparing for potential evacuations.
Plus, billionaire Elon Musk spreads his political influence. The criticism coming in after he went to a German campaign event saying it's time for the country to move on from the guilt of the Holocaust.
And then the Super Bowl is set. We're taking a look back at the high-stakes games that set up a rematch for the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome back. It is 7:14 on a brand new work week. It is Monday morning, and we're giving you a live look out the door through our tower camera network towards downtown Orlando. And you can see the sun is out, and we're a bit warmer than we were last week. We're waking up in the 50s today, and we are going to climb into the 70s. Sunshine is back. Meteorologist Cam Tran is going to walk us through what today looks like and what the rest of the week looks like. She'll also let us know when rain will re-enter the forecast. A new global push from Tesla CEO Elon Musk as he takes his politics beyond Washington. And as NBC's Vaughn Hilliard explains, a virtual appearance at a German campaign event is sparking criticism. That was NBC's Vaughn Hilliard reporting. Meanwhile, the MAGA allies have chided Musk of his recent criticism of an AI tech announcement at the White House and his support of visas for high-skilled foreign workers. In California, road closures and flood warnings are in effect as the first rainstorm of the season hits the Los Angeles County area. That rain sparking concerns for mudslides in communities impacted by the deadly wildfires tearing through the state. Crews have been at work building barriers around the hardest hit areas. hoping to prevent another disaster. Residents have been warned to prepare for potential evacuations. And SpaceX is planning to send another batch of Starlink satellites into orbit this afternoon. The Falcon 9 rocket carrying the 21 satellites is set to blast off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station at 3:22. Backup opportunities are available until 6:21 this evening. Are there any concerns, Cam, as we look towards this drier forecast?
Not with the space launch. We are actually looking at wonderful weather over the next several days. In fact, we are looking at a warm up this week. We could be actually hitting 80 degrees by Saturday. But this morning, though, the big concern with weather is some patchy fog. But thankfully, that fog is not widespread or super dense. Here's a look at your visibilities this morning as you walk out the door. You see most of that patchy fog is out to the west along I-75, especially in Sumter County. Well, here's a look at the visibilities right now. Less than a mile and a half in Rutland. We're dealing with some patchy fog right now in Wildwood as well as Lake Panasoffkee, and also some patchy fog this morning in Webster. Noticeably warmer this morning than where we were over the weekend. Now, it's still cold, don't get me wrong, but at least these temperatures are not in the 20s and 30s like what we dealt with Saturday morning. We're right now at 55 in Orlando, 49 in DeLand. Good morning. The Villages here at 45 and 53 right now at Kissimmee. Later on today, with all that sunshine, we'll see high temperatures top out in the low 70s. 71 the high in Altamont Springs, 73 the high in Hunters Creek, and 74 the high later today in Orlando. Areas along the coast, expect your highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. And as we take a look at our first warning radar, you can see it is dry across our area, and we're going to keep it that way for the rest of the day today. Bright sunshine as we go through the afternoon, even into the evening, looking at partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. So today is a great day to get outside, whether it's out for the golf game, for the morning round, or heading out to our local theme parks. We'll see lots of sunshine with a high of 74 and comfortable conditions. Now, all courtesy of high pressure and control, we are actually looking at dry conditions all the way through the end of the work week. We're also going to see a gradual warm up as well as that area high pressure slides off to the east. By Thursday, high temperatures will climb into the upper 70s already. So tomorrow morning, we start to see that transition. Lows in the low 50s, upper 40s areas northwest. Highs tomorrow in the low 70s, upper 60s to low 70s along the coast. And then Wednesday, a high of 75. 76 a high Thursday. Look at that 79 your high on Friday. We get even warmer for the upcoming weekend as temperatures climb to 80 degrees come Saturday. Now, if you're wondering, is this warm air going to last? Looking at the long range models, it does indeed look like it will. Here's a look. Areas in central Florida are in the red, which indicates we are looking at above average temperatures through the first week of February. So yes, we are looking at some rain this weekend with this approaching cold front, but it's not going to drop off the temperatures very much. Here's a look at your Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast. Just a picture perfect week to get outside. Hopefully take advantage of it. Come this weekend, though, we are going to see a couple rain showers in the forecast, although it's not a washout by any means. I'll talk more about that weekend rain coming up in the 7:30 half hour. But first, let's take a look at the roadways this morning with Megan Mackey.
Okay, I'm heading out the door. I'm continuing to monitor a crash here along the beach line. It's impacting those westbound drivers. This is just past State Road 520, traveling towards Dallas Boulevard. Looks like 2 cars here left behind. The fire department is blocking that right lane there in this area. So if you're heading that way this morning, a crash, there was some injuries and delays here if you are traveling westbound towards Dallas Boulevard, but not having a big impact anymore to traffic because cars are still able to get by. In downtown Orlando, this is a live look at I-4. Nice clear start here. We are crash free along the I-4 corridor. A great time to get out for your morning drive, including those Seminole County travel times. We are mostly in the green. I-4 westbound from Lake Mary Boulevard to Princeton Street, we're at 14 minutes. Eastbound, so we're at 12 minutes.
Well, the matchup is set for Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. The Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs will face off February 9th after winning their conference championships yesterday. Fans flocked to the streets in both cities after the wins. So let's start with the NFC game. If you're stuck on who you'll be rooting for, turns out you can't lose because we have several local representatives set to play in the Super Bowl in a couple weeks. For the Eagles, Coco's C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Apopka High School's Jalen Carter, who's making his Super Bowl debut, University High School alum Jalix Hunt, and then Boone High School's Tommy Townsend, seeking his 3rd straight Super Bowl title for the Chiefs. Coco's Juwan Taylor also looking for another ring. So you can't go wrong And the NFL Pro Bowl is coming back to Orlando this weekend. 88 of the NFL's top players will be at Camping World Stadium on Sunday for the NFC versus AFC flag football game. NFL legends Peyton and Eli Manning return as head coaches for the third consecutive year. Tickets on sale now. Everything kicks off at 3 p.m. Porsche Penske Motorsport is holding its spot as Rolex 24 champs, winning the race at Daytona International Speedway for the second year in a row. Penske's two cars dominated the 24-hour endurance race, securing the first and third finishing spots.
Stay February 19th. Don't miss the series premiere of Good Cop, Bad Cop. Local, live, late breaking. This is a WESH 2 News update.
Good morning, Sonica Donde. It is 7:26. In just hours, Florida legislators will come together for a special session. A major topic on the agenda, how to deal with illegal immigration. Dozens of new bills have already been filed in both chambers. Other issues up for discussion, helping people with rising condo fees and making it more difficult for people to add amendments to the ballot. The special session is set to start at 10:30 this morning. Right now in Polk County, investigators are looking for this 6-year-old girl. They say Empress Moore was last seen yesterday in Lakeland wearing a puffy blue jacket, blue leggings, and pink sparkly boots. If you see her, please call 911. Let's get you over to the roadways this morning. Megan, I know you've been monitoring something for over the last hour.
Yes, Sonica, this one here is along the beach line. This crash westbound. It's right after State Road 520 heading towards Dallas Boulevard. It's only off onto the shoulder now, though, so not having a major impact to traffic anymore. Not seeing any heavy delays. I-4 also off to a great start for our Monday. This is a live look from our tower camera at WESH 2. No issues if you're traveling into downtown Orlando or heading into Seminole County. Cam, also all eyes on those warming temperatures this week.
That's right. Some big improvement from the weekend. Look at this. We're at 55 right now in Orlando, 45 in the Villages. Good morning, Leesburg. You're at 47 degrees. Still cool out, but at least we're not talking about temperatures in the 20s and 30s like we did over the weekend. Right now, our satellite and radar showing quite a few high-level clouds streaming ahead. Otherwise, we are looking at a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 74 degrees. We're also going to keep it dry as well. So today is going to be a great day to get outside. Look at this picture-perfect forecast for your work week. We'll see a gradual warm up with high temperatures climbing into the upper 70s by Thursday. And then this upcoming weekend, a high of 80 degrees come Saturday. We are tracking a chance for a few rain showers this weekend, but not a washout by any means.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise on CW18 starts now.
Good morning, I'm Christina Watkins. Thanks for staying with us here at 7:30. The weather outside today is a far cry from what we saw last week. First Warning meteorologist Cam Tran is here with the good news. Cam, we will warm up eventually.
That's right. We are actually looking at seasonable temperatures today, so temperatures that are right on par for our winter average. Right now, though, we are dealing with some patchy fog, mostly out towards the west along I-75. You see, we are dealing with some patchy fog there in Wildwood, but the fog is improving. Now the sun is up. Temperature-wise, 49 right now in DeLand. Good morning, Sanford. You're at 50 degrees, 48 right now in New Smyrna Beach. So you'll still need a jacket before you head out the door this morning, but you'll be shutting it by the afternoon. We're expecting highs later today to climb into the low 70s, upper 60s to low 70s for areas along the coast. Here's a look at our satellite and radar this morning. We are seeing quite a few clouds, high-level clouds streaming ahead. As we go throughout the afternoon, we should see more breaks in the cloud cover and get more sunshine. In fact, that will allow us to climb to around 74 for your high later on today, and staying dry as well. Coming up about 15 minutes, I'll show you when we are expecting rain to return to the forecast. But first, let's take a look at the roadways this morning with Megan Mackey.
Cam, I'm just continuing to monitor this one crash. It is along the beach line westbound after State Road 520 traveling towards Dallas Boulevard, blocking part of the left shoulder here as well as the right shoulder just out of this camera frame. So a little bit of slow movement there as you're approaching Dallas Boulevard, but not having a major impact to traffic anymore, but still working to clear. In downtown Orlando, I-4 traffic getting heavier here westbound. This is right at Colonial Drive. Fortunately, no crashes or construction delays along I-4 so far this morning. We'll check in with some travel times again coming up in a few minutes.
At 7:33 this morning, lawmakers will meet in a few hours at our state capitol for a special session, and they will consider a number of items, including adding restrictions to the ballot initiative process. This comes after Governor Ron DeSantis led efforts to defeat ballot initiatives on abortion rights and recreational marijuana during the election in November. But we know one of the main topics during the special session will be immigration enforcement. WESH 2's Paola Tristan Arruda joins us live this morning. And Paola, this is happening to try and fall in line with President Donald Trump's immigration plans.
That's right, Christina. And Governor DeSantis has laid out a number of proposals. And within the last day, many bills were filed in both the state House and Senate that would advance his agenda.
And a lot happened over the weekend with immigration. A trade war is dying down between Colombia and the United States as the two argue over deportation flights. As Christopher Salas reports, officers arrested nearly 1,000 people during immigration raids just yesterday. For the first time, we are now seeing agencies that typically don't handle immigration for these raids. The DEA and ATF were granted immigration enforcement powers under the president's new directive. This shift in federal law enforcement strategy is leading to some concerns about overreach and the impact on immigrant communities. WESH 2 will be in our state capitol today with the steps Florida could take as part of the immigration overhaul. Nancy Alvarez will have live reports from this special session. You can watch all of our previous coverage online right now. Just go to WESH.com. Well, it was a busy weekend in the nation's capital as President Donald Trump's cabinet continues coming together. Pete Hegseth was sworn in as Secretary of Defense Saturday morning. The Senate barely agreed to confirm him Friday night. In fact, Vice President J.D. Vance had the final vote to put those numbers in Hegseth's favor. It's the second time in history a vice president had to cast a tie-breaking vote for a cabinet position. That same day, the Senate voted to confirm Kristi Noem as Secretary of Homeland Security. That final vote was 59-34. Noem will now be in charge of an agency that will play a pretty big role in President Trump's promised immigration crackdown. The confirmation vote for his Treasury Secretary pick, Scott Bessent, is set to take place this evening. And then tomorrow, the Senate is expected to vote on Sean Duffy's confirmation. President Trump tapped him to serve as Transportation Secretary. It is 7:38 on your Monday morning, and the clock is still ticking down when it comes to TikTok. President Trump gave the owners of the social media site an extension to sell the popular app to an American buyer. On Saturday, the president dismissed reports about the White House in talks with Oracle about buying TikTok. The president says he talked to a lot of people about the app and says he has the right to sell it or close it depending on what he thinks may be best for the country. Still ahead this morning on Sunrise, a rare flower is bringing out big crowds with its unique smell. How long people will have to wait to see the corpse flower once this bloom collapses. Plus, there's a new concern this morning over the rise in flu cases, why one doctor says some hospitals won't be able to keep up. Then some good news this morning. A middle school custodian is being recognized as a hero. Hear that message for others after saving a student. It is 7:44 on your Monday morning. A live look outside at downtown Ocala. Good morning, Marion County. Yes, it is a chilly start. It is about 42 degrees there, but it is nowhere as cold as we were this weekend. At one point, temperatures were in the 20s in Ocala. First Warning meteorologist Cam Tran is tracking the warm up we all will feel throughout the week in Central Florida. Super excited for that. A health alert this morning as flu cases not only here at home but also around the country continue to rise. NBC's Mara talked to a doctor who says some hospitals may not be able to handle all the patients. There's a warning today for people to stop using baby park sling carriers. Look at your screen. This is what the Consumer Product Safety Commission wants to warn you about. They say the structure just really isn't strong enough and it could lead to falls. About 750 sling carriers were sold on Shein from March to November of last year. As of right now, the company is not offering anything back if you return it, but certainly check with them first. Florida drivers are going to pay a bit more at the pump this week. The average price per gallon jumped 3 cents. Let's take a look statewide. We're paying $3.22 for a gallon of regular gas. In Central Florida, drivers in Osceola County will pay the most if you're driving through there at $3.26 a gallon. And some of the lowest prices are in Sumter County at $3.21. You will certainly want to drive with the windows rolled down this week. Let's bring in First Warning meteorologist Cam Tran. I love this upward trend.
That's right. That's why I'm showing you the 7-day right off the top to give you the good news on this back to work Monday morning. We are looking at dry conditions, at least through the work week, and we're also going to see a gradual warm up. So we've got picture perfect weather here in Central Florida, at least through Friday. The upcoming weekend, though, we are tracking a cold front that's going to head our way. That's going to bring us some rain showers, which is why we have that 30% chance of rain in both Saturday and Sunday. But we're not expecting any significant drop off in temperatures behind that front that's arriving this weekend. Want to show you a live look outside at Daytona Beach this morning. You see, we are seeing quite a few clouds to start off the day. 51 degrees right now at Daytona Beach. Good morning, DeLand. You're at 48. And hey, Palm Coast this morning at 45 degrees. So yes, it's a cold start, but not as chilly as where we dealt with over the weekend. Our first warning radar is showing dry conditions, and we'll keep it that way for the rest of the day today. So today, a mix of sun and clouds. We'll see a high of 74 this afternoon, and staying dry. That's great news because we do have a Falcon 9 launch later today. Launch opens up at 3:22. Right now, from a weather standpoint, a 95% chance it will be a go. Tomorrow morning, a pretty similar start to what we're dealing with right now. We'll see overnight lows drop down into the low 50s, areas north and west of Orlando, upper 40s. These temperatures are actually quite average or normal for this time of year. As we go into the afternoon tomorrow, high temperatures once again will climb into the low 70s for inland spots, upper 60s and low 70s along the coast. Next several days staying dry, all courtesy of high pressure in control. We're also going to see this area high pressure slide off to the east, which will allow us to see a gradual warm up, especially as we go into mid to late week. In fact, by Friday, we are talking about high temperatures in the upper 70s, staying dry still. But we are watching this next approaching cold front from the northwest that will bring us some showers this upcoming weekend. High of 80 degrees on Saturday before that rain arrives. Will also be breezy as well. Now Sunday, I'm also keeping a chance of rain around because we have to hone in on the timing of the rain. What I mean by that is there's a lot of timing differences on when this rain will arrive this weekend. European models on the left, it's showing that rain arriving by about midday on Saturday, while the GFS is much slower, keeping Saturday dry and not bringing the rain in until Sunday, while the European model again has it much faster, and already that rain is long gone, and so we're looking at dry conditions on Sunday. So complete opposites here. We'll continue to monitor the trends and fine-tune the timing of the rain this weekend, but either way, though, it is not looking like a washout, and we're also looking at very little rain. No thunderstorms right now in the forecast. Here's a look again at your Central Florida certified most accurate forecast. Hopefully get a chance to go outside and enjoy this really nice weather. We are looking at, again, a couple showers this weekend, but not too bad to get outside. So let's take a look at the roadways this morning with Megan Mackey.
Cam, good morning. Getting another check of that traffic. There is still this crash I'm monitoring along the beach line. It's impacting just that westbound side right after State Road 520 heading towards Dallas Boulevard. Still blocking that left shoulder and also part of the right shoulder just out of this camera view. So traffic is getting by, no big delays, but still working to clear from earlier this morning, about an hour and a half ago. I-4 traffic is much heavier now. The heaviest we've seen all morning, but this is typical. We're now in the busiest travel time of the morning along I-4. This is a live look in Winter Park from our tower camera at WESH 2. You can see heavy traffic flow westbound and eastbound. Those express lanes always an option, but again, no crashes along the I-4 corridor so far this morning. Those travel times along State Road 408 a little heavy here. You can see both directions. Eastbound from I-4 to State Road 417, we're at 9 minutes. Westbound, heavy delays there. We're at 19 minutes.
It is 7:53. We'll be right back.
Tuesday, February 5th. Don't miss the season premiere of Wild Cards on the CW.
Local, live, late breaking. This is a WESH 2 News update.
Good Monday morning to you. I'm Christina Watkins. The time right now is 7:56. SpaceX plans to send another batch of Starlink satellites into orbit this afternoon. The Falcon 9 rocket carrying the 21 satellites is set to blast off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station at 3:22. Be sure to look up. Backup opportunities are available until 6:21 this evening. Let's get a check-in for Morning Drive with First Warning traffic expert Megan Mackey. It looks like things are flowing smoothly.
Yeah, if you're heading out the door, this is a live look at I-4 in Osceola County. Just the typical delays we see around this hour, but fortunately no crashes along the I-4 corridor. The beach line westbound heading towards Dallas Boulevard. The crash here still blocking the shoulder, but Cam, a nice dry start to our work week.
Nice dry start and a cool one as well, although not as chilly as what we dealt with over the weekend or last week. 55 right now in the City Beautiful, 46 right now in Leesburg, 45 in the Villages. Last week, these temperatures were our highs, but that's where we're starting off this morning. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. We're seeing quite a few clouds ahead. The radar portion showing dry conditions. As we go through the rest of the day today, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 74 this afternoon, staying dry, and that will be the case through the end of the week. In fact, we'll see a gradual warm up. Picture perfect conditions here in Central Florida through Friday with high temperatures pushing near 80 degrees come Friday. We are expecting a couple rain showers this weekend, but it's not a washout by any means. Just a slight chance for showers Saturday and Sunday with highs still in the upper 70s to low 80s.
Next at 8 o'clock, Florida makers are coming together for a special session in Tallahassee. We'll look at the major topics up for discussion. It is 7:58. We have another hour of WESH 2 News Sunrise on CW18 on the other side of the break.